So now I am recording my microphone audio, which you'll be seeing on the primary video. Okay, well, to get all this stuff to work, the first thing you have to do is just go to OBS and download it. Home, open link, new tab, boom, get it for whatever platform you have, probably Windows. All right, then you're going to end up with a program that looks like the one that I have on the left. If I open it up to show you what it looks like on the right hand side, just clicking these eyes here. I need to actually move my mouse. All right, so let's see, we'll cut off the display capture one. At the top is video display capture, so I'm going to move that down. And so you're catching the uppermost display capture. So you watch that zoom off into infinity. Would be the same thing if I cut the primary display capture off, would be on the other side. Okay. So for those that only have one monitor, you're going to have something that looks like this, where OBS is on your primary monitor. Okay, and it looks like it extends into forever, which is why I use two monitors. Makes it a little bit easier, but you can always just cut the display capture out and just have your video capture device or whatever. And depending on what level you've got your sources set at is going to give it priority. So even if I have display capture 2 on, let's move this, my live screen over to the other side and bring back OBS. Okay, so if I have display capture 2 and I move that above video capture 1, you're actually seeing what's on my second screen here. I want to blind that again, and now you're seeing me. We actually want to look at the primary display capture now. So even if I cut that on, I'm still going to be up here because my video capture device is ahead in priority. So instead, I'm going to use display capture at the top, and it's going to show you how OBS is on this window. So typically what you should do if you have only one monitor, this is how I do it with 2. I put OBS on one side. I say I want to go live. I kind of I don't minimize the screen necessarily, but I want to make sure I bring up display capture 2 so you can see what's going on. So basically what I'm going to do, and this is my YouTube Live, real simple stuff here. Instead of using that cam icon, that webcam, I'm going to do encoder live streaming instead. And this is how I like to arrange my setup. And you can obviously do this on a single monitor. It's just a little confusing when you first start taking a look at it. So what I'll do is I'll put my stream name in, blah, 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 stream options, all that stuff. Options, enable DVR, normal latency, no added delay. Now you're going to need your stream name key, which obviously I'm not going to reveal for security purposes. Okay. So then I move that all the way over to the left, or to the right rather. Instead of top chat, I go to live chat, and I set it up so I can just barely see my analytics here and here. Then I'll go back to OBS. I'll pull that window all the way over. Okay, so let me cut off display capture 2. You're only looking at 1 now. And let's move video capture device up in priority. Okay. So, and then we'll knock out display capture. So you're actually getting the full view of me. And I have a microphone here that I'm using as my microphone auxiliary, which I can silence, which would be captured on my second film over there. I can also mute the desktop audio, so if you didn't want to hear the clicks or what was playing as something I went through the desktop audio, there it would be. Of course, my parakeets are going to get involved. They're addicted to fame. Okay, so let's go back to display capture 2, and I'm going to knock out the video capture device. Okay, so it looks like it's kind of going infinitely into everywhere, which obviously could be a little bit confusing. All right, but you really don't need that because you are doing your video capture device. Okay, you're not doing your display capture. Again, this would all be on one monitor instead of two, unless you were trying to demonstrate what was on your primary monitor. Okay, stuff. I'm going to go back to video capture device, and I'm going to show you what second display capture would look like. So just kind of ignore all this kind of infinity mirror that you're seeing here, because what you're actually looking at is your YouTube live page. Basic info, go back to that. And then what you need to do is you need to go to your settings. All right, you go to stream, you put in your stream key, which I'm not going to show. Your primary server is going to be your YouTube ingest server, service YouTube gaming, stream type, stream services, output, streaming. This is your codec. The rest of this is kind of for really high resolution gaming type of stuff. You don't really need to get into this that much. Okay, standard settings will be fine for you, or fine for most people, really. This is where you set your audio devices or your webcam, whatever that might be. So you basically have your labels for your microphone or auxiliary device, and move it over to my primary display capture. So when I open settings, a bit more clear because I'll move settings to my primary screen. So let's go through this one more time. All your general stuff is going to be the same. You can kind of just look through the options. They're fairly self-explanatory. Again, your streaming type, streaming services, YouTube gaming. You can show all services. Server is going to be your primary YouTube ingest server. Stream key, I'm not going to show you, but you'll get it right at the bottom of your live stream. All right, real simple. It's going to stay the same all the time unless you want to change it. It does give you that option for security purposes, but I find one works well for all. Okay. Then outputs, like I say, doesn't really matter unless you're doing high octane gaming type of stuff. All the settings that you see here are going to be pretty standard. This is the encoder. You can rescale your output because I'm working obviously on two different very strangely sized monitors, so I have to rescale all my outputs. Preset can be low latency, high quality, and basically that's going to make it so you're not going to have a lot of interruptions in your live stream, even though you're going to go for your high quality. Like in my stream options, I actually go with normal latency. I also go with live chat. Okay. So I'm using this encoder to ensure that the information that YouTube is getting is going to be the highest quality. All right, audio, again, you're just kind of, these are the definitions. So my speakers would be my desktop audio device. So it's actually pulling from my sound card, and that's what would give desktop audio. So for example, I wanted to go to YouTube. I wanted to pull Mosley's video here and look at it. You're actually going to get recording from both. I'll silence the mic.
56 folks, let's give them a chance to jump over. I apologize again for... I don't know what the issue is.
What I would do is I would silence.
So,
desktop audio, it's done like that. But right now all you can hear me is because I've silenced. Anyway, it's very confusing for me to hear again and also try and think my way through that at the same time. So that's what that second camera is for, why I'm moving these videos back and forth, because that mirror effect can be a little bit confusing, but the principle is all the same. We'll just go back to what you would ordinarily use. That would be your video capture device. Okay. All my grand unwashed glory. Okay. Knockout desktop audio. So for the most part, I don't think you'll be trying to go through different images and things like that as you live stream, but the possibility is they're available for you. Very, very simple stuff. So you just set up source, your scenes, which is all the same, and then your sources. Settings window again. Here. Process priority is always going to want to be high. All this stuff's pretty standard. I think it's going to be pretty much all default for what you want it to do. My settings are specifically designed for gaming. Your bitrate should be about at 3500. Rate control CBR. If your bit rate's at 3500 with a keyframe interval of 2, you're going to be totally fine for any kind of just person-to-person microphone stuff, because when you start adding like live stream, high-resolution gaming, and multiple input sources, it gets a little bit complicated. Probably have gone back to my display capture. But I have to exit my settings to do that. Probably should have gone back to display capture, close my window settings this way, and pulled it over. So that's what that second camera is set up for. CBR 3500, low latency, high quality. Rate at 3500 too. This is also going to save your when people talk about bandwidth, that's going to save you any trouble in your streaming as far as okay. That low latency, high quality preset. You got other options you can play around with, but again, default, you don't really need to do too much playing with that. So I'm going to knock out my display capture again. I'll bring it over to the primary screen. I don't like to do because I have to resize this window. See it. But what I would do is I would just go knock out my display capture here. Bring in my video capture again. It's about priority. Back over to my secondary screen. Now again, all this is kind of just extra because I'm trying to show you really how I do it. But it's, you know, you can handle that mirror effect. You can easily do that all right, and that's pretty much it. All you need to know. Download it and make sure the settings are set up. You've got your stream key that's in the settings that you've put in your encoder, and then when you go to actually start a live stream, which, you know, why not? I'll put in something called S live stream or something. Primary screen so you can see it, knock out my video capture and give you display capture. What I'll do is I'll just I'll go into live stream real quick. So let's just go for Bosley. Something far more simple, because I don't want to be knocking your style and searching for your stuff and coming up with this tutorial. So we're going to go OBS quick tutorial. So I don't like to bite off other people's stuff. Have my work bitten off, and I don't like to bite anybody else's work off. So, all right, and then I would move OBS. If you're on a single monitor, it would look like that. Your screen would be resized. Now I'm recording right now, but if I stream, I also record at the same time. I would hit start streaming. I want to start to stream. Yes. It's going to break this recording into 2 pieces. Tried that before. All right. So right now I'm live. You can see it's green there. I'm live, so I'm going to pick that OBS window back up so you can see what I've got going on. So I've basically got it set up so I'm not looking at this. I'm looking at this. So I'm not distracted. This thing's far more simple to read. Here what's on the right-hand side, which you'll see if you're viewing it from other camera perspective. From this perspective, it looks complicated. From the perspective that you would be using, like this. Yeah, make sure my screens are lined up. So I got everything coming into the live chat. And now, obviously, nobody's watching. Nobody would be. And you're seeing me live. Of course, I've got my live muted over here, but that doesn't mean that the sound is not coming through. The sound is coming through my encoder. So I've basically set up all the parameters that I needed to set up to ensure the highest quality moving through. Move quickly because it's not really rocket science, and it's freeware, just like everything I use. I always use open source software. I can't remember the last time I bought anything. OBS is good because there's no hidden packages or anything in that. It's just high quality software. So that's that. There's your live screen. Your OBS screen. Doing it right, it just looks like this. Now you're going to have a little delay in your live, obviously. So that's the kind of delay that I use to. That's just a delay that you're going to get, even though I don't have any added delay. That's why I use this setup the way it looks here. Because if you're doing the live stream, you're not going to be the one that needs to be interfacing in the chat because you have command over the. All right, and got my video capture device. I've got my microphone. It might be one and the same for you and your laptop or whatever you're recording on. So, got any questions? Just rocket science. On the flip side, it's been Hank. Stop streaming, and that's also